In this video, we are going to revise Morphology of Flowering Plants. Introduction. Angiosperms show a large diversity in morphology. Possibly the variation in different parts are due to the adaptations to various habitats. A plant has root system and shoot system. First, let us talk about the root system. The root. Elongation of radical form primary root. Primary root bears lateral roots of several orders that are referred to as secondary, tertiary, etc. roots. Types of roots. Taproot system includes primary root and its branches, seen mainly in dicots, example mustard. Fibrous root system. In monocots, primary root is short-lived and replaced by a large number of roots originate from the base of the stem. Adventitious root. Roots that arise from parts of plants other than radical, example grass, monstera, and banyan tree. Functions of roots. Absorption of water and minerals from soil, provide anchorage to plant parts, storage of reserve food materials, and synthesis of plant growth regulators. Regions of root. Region of maturation. Some epidermal cells of this region form root hairs. Then we have the root hairs and then region of elongation. Cells of this region gradually differentiate and mature. Region of meristematic activity. Small, thin-walled cells with a dense protoplasm. Root cap. Thimble-like structures covering root apex. Modifications of root. Storage of food. Taproot, carrot, turnip. Adventitious root, sweet potato. Prop root, arise from branches to support them. Example banyan. Stilt root, supporting root coming out from lower nodes. Example maize and sugarcane. Pneumatophores, root growing vertically upward for oxygen in plants of swamp area. Example rhizophora. This term develops from plumule, bears nodes, internodes, buds, terminal or axillary functions. Spread out branches bearing leaves, flowers, fruits, conducts water, minerals and photosynthesis. Modifications of stem. Underground stem. For storage of food, also act as organ of perennation to tide over conditions unfavorable for growth. Example potato, ginger, turmeric, colocasia and zemingant. Tendrils. Axillary bud modify into tendrils, help plant to climb. Example grapevines and gourds. Cucumber, pumpkin, watermelon. Thorn. Axillary buds modify into woody pointed thorn. Example bougainvillea and citrus. Flat or cylindrical photosynthetic stem. Example opuntia, flattened. Euphorbia, cylindrical. Some other modifications of stem. In mint and jasmine, a slender lateral branch arises from the base of the main axis and after growing aerially arch downward and touch the ground. Aquatic plants like pistia and eichhornia have lateral branch with short internodes and each node bears rosette of leaves and tuft of roots. In banana, pineapple and chrysanthemum, lateral branches arise from basal and underground stem, grow horizontally and then come out obliquely upwards to form leafy shoots. Underground stem of grass and strawberry spread to new niches and when older part dies, a new plant are formed. Undergrounded storage stem also act as organ of perennation. The leaf. Lateral, generally flat structure, develop at node and bear a bud in its axil. Arise from shoot apical meristem and are arranged in acropetal order. Consist of three parts, leaf base, petiole and lamina. Two lateral small leaf-like structures at leaf base are called stipules. Leaf base may expand into sheath-like structure covering stem partially or wholly in monocots. Leaf base may become swollen in leguminous plants called pulvinous. Types of leaves. Simple leaf. Lamina is entire or when incised, incision do not reach midrib. Compound leaf. Incision of lamina reaches up to the midrib, breaking it into leaflets. It is of two types. Pinnately compounded leaflets are present on a common axis. The rachis example the neem. Palmately compound leaflets are attached at a common point, that is at the tip of the petiole. Example silk cotton. Leaf venation. There are two types of venation, reticulate venation and parallel venation. Reticulate venation, veinlets form network, example generally in dicots. Parallel, veins run parallel to each other, example most monocots. Phyllotaxy, it is arrangement of leaves on the stem. Alternate phyllotaxy, opposite and hold phyllotaxy. Alternate, single leaf at each node arranged in alternate manner, example China rose, mustard and sunflower. Opposite, pair of leaves arise at each node, example guava, calotropis. Hold, more than two leaves arise at each node, example alstonia. Modification of leaves, tendrils, example pea. In Australian acacia, petiole expands and become photosynthetic. Spines, example cacti for defense. Fleshy leaves for storage, example onion and garlic. For trapping insect, example Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Insectivorous plant. The inflorescence, flower is modified shoot. During flowering, shoot apical meristem modifies into floral meristem. Internode do not elongate and axis gets condensed. Solitary flower, shoot tip transform into a flower. Arrangement of flower on floral axis is called inflorescence. Two major types of inflorescence are racemose and cymose. Racemose main axis continues to grow, and in cymose main axis terminates into a flower. They have limited growth. Flowers borne laterally in equable succession in the case of racemose, and in the case of cymose, flowers borne in basipical succession. The flower, reproductive unit. Based on symmetry, flower is divided into two, actinomorphic and zygomorphic. Actinomorphic, flower can be divided into two equal halves in any plane passing through the center, example chili, mustard and datura. Zygomorphic or bilateral symmetry, flower can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular plane, in one particular vertical plane, example pea, bean, cassia, gulmohar. Flowers is unisexual and bisexual. Unisexual, flower either have androecium or carpels. Bisexual, flower have both stamen and carpels. Trimerous, floral appendages are multiple of 3. Tetramerous, floral appendages are multiple of 4. Pentamerous, floral appendages are multiple of 5. Then based on the position of ovary, it is classified into hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. Hypogynous, gynoecium occupies highest position. Other parts are situated below it. Superior ovary. Example brinjal, mustard and China rose. Brinjal, mustard and China rose. Perigynous, gynoecium situated in center. Other parts located at the rim of thalamus. Ovary is half inferior. Example plum, peach and rose. Epigynous, margin of thalamus grows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and get fused with it. Other parts arise above the ovary. Ovary is inferior, example guava, cucumber and rare florets of sunflower. A flower is asymmetric, irregular if it cannot be divided into similar halves by any vertical plane passing through the center, example canna. Flowers with bracts, reduced leaves are found at the base of pedicel called bracteate, and without bract are called ebracteate. Parts of a flower, calyx, outermost hole. Members called sepal, protect flower in bud stage, generally green, may be gamosepalous. Sepals united, polysepalous, sepals free. Corolla, members are called petals, brightly colored, it may be gamopetalous, petals united, polypetalous, petals free. Androecium, composed of stamens, stamen consists of filament plus anther. Each anther is bilobed and each lobe has 2 chambers. Sterile stamen is called staminode, male reproductive part. Gynoecium, made of one or more carpels. Carpel consists of stigma, style and ovary. Each ovary bears one or more ovules attached to a flat cushion like placenta. Carpels may be free Apocarpus, example lotus, rose or united. Syncarpus, tomato, mustard. When calyx and corolla are not distinct, termed as perianth. Unit tepal. Example lily. Estivation. Mode of arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud with respect to other members of the same whole. Types: valvate, twisted, imbricate and vexillary. Valvate. Sepals or petals in a whole just touch one another at the margin without overlapping. Example calotropis. Twisted. One margin of the appendage overlaps the next one and so on. Example China rose and lady's finger, cotton. Imbricate. Margins of sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction. Example cassia and gulmohar. Vexillary 5 petals, one largest standards overlaps 2 lateral petals, wings, which in turn overlap 2 smaller anterior petals. Keel. Example pea and bean. Stamen is of 2 types: attachment with other floral wholes and attachment with each other. Attachment with the other floral whole. Attachment with the petals epipetalous, brinjal. Attachment with the perianth epiphyllous, lily. Attachment with each other, if it is free, it is called polyandrous. And united with each other in one bundle, monodelphous. Example China rose. United in 2 bundles, diadelphous. Example pea. United in more than 2 bundles, polyadelphous. There may be a variation in length of filaments within a flower as in salvia and mustard. Placentation. That is the arrangement of ovules within the ovary. Types: marginal, axial, parietal, free central and basal. Marginal. Placenta forms a ridge along the ventral suture of ovary and ovules are borne on it forming 2 rows. Example pea. Axial. Placenta axial, ovules are attached on it on a multilocular ovary. Example China rose, tomato and lemon. Parietal. Ovules develop on inner wall of ovary or in a peripheral part. Ovary is one-chambered but become two-chambered due to false septum. Example mustard and argemony. Free central. Ovules are borne on central axis and septa are absent. Example primrose, dianthus. Basal. Placenta develops at the base of the ovary and a single ovule is attached to it. Example sunflower and marigold. The fruit and seed. Ovule after fertilization turns into seed. It consists of seed coat, testa and tegmen and embryo. Dicot seed. Contain 2 cotyledons. It usually lacks endosperm except castor. Embryo consists of 2 embryonal axes, radicle plus plumule and 2 cotyledons. Hilum is a scar on the seed coat. Above hilum is a small pore called micropyle. Example bean, gram and pea. Monocot seed. Single large shield-shaped cotyledon called scutellum. Endospermous. In orchid, non-endospermic. In cereals, seed coat is membranous and generally fused with the fruit wall. In maize, endosperm is bulky and stores food. The outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer called alluron layer. The ovary ripens into fruit. It consists of seeds and pericarp. The pericarp may be dry or fleshy. It is divided into epicarp, mesocarp and endocarp. The fruit formed without fertilization is called parthenocarpic fruit. Mango and coconut are drupe type of fruits developed from monocarpellary superior ovaries and are one-seeded. In mango, mesocarp is fleshy, edible, and in coconut it is fibrous. Both have hard stony endocarp. Description of some important families. Solanaceae. It is commonly called as potato family. This term is herbaceous, rarely woody, solid or hollow, hairy or glabrous, underground as in potato. Leaves are alternate, simple, rarely pinnate and reticulate venation. Inflorescence is solitary, axillary or cymose as in solanum. Its flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. Calyx is 5, gamosepalous, persistent and valvate aestivation. Corolla is 5, gamopetalous, valvate aestivation and andrecium is 5, epipetalous. Gynecium is bicarpellary, obliquely placed syncarpous superior and bilocular placenta swollen and axial presentation. And you have many ovules. Fruit and seed. Berry or capsule, endospermous seed. Floral formula and floral diagram. Observe both of these. Economic importance of Solanaceae. Food. Tomato, potato and brinjal, spice, chili. Medicine, belladonna and ashwagandha. Fumigatory, tobacco and ornamental, petunia. And the semi-technical description of a typical flowering plant.